Let's see if I can change the colors. That's a bit more correct.
Oh, we got the little man buns today.
Yay! I got my double buns. I know it's been a while since I wore it like this. I was like literally saying, I missed them.
They're a little higher than Mickey Mouse.
No. I'm classier than Mickey Mouse. Minnie and menopause. Okay.
Well, you have two waters.
That's just what I like to do. You could probably get away with just one, looking at this size.
What are those things? Ice cream? Those are ice cream? And water? Fancy. Fancy water. Oh, $1.03?
They didn't have them anymore last time.
Very nice, yeah. Yeah, things comes and goes quick.
You still have it?
Alrighty. Good to see y'all. Yeah. So let's get started here. Now there's some artists who have been wanting to share their work for the last 3 weeks because we had the big art show. And one of them, Annie, I believe we seem to have skipped you that day, and you sent the pictures. We'd love to see all the hard work you've done, and it's good to share. Have the stage in a way, and everyone else got that chance. So, and then we also have some artists from who have been like staying online with us, who also sent out things. Oh, great! You can see that. Okay, let's see art. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have Anna Feigl. I believe that's how you say her name. Okay, cool. Right. This was okay. So this was this year. Okay, cool. Yeah. So she's not currently here, but you can see here. Her work is really fun. If some of you may have met her at the Fullerton campus, she was a regular there. Usually in a wheelchair. It doesn't. Her name is Anna, and she has these artworks that she's been working on in her sketchbooks. Very whimsical and creative.
Is she a senior citizen or is she young?
She's young.
Okay.
She's younger. Like, yeah. So you can see here, she's been working in her sketchbook in a very fun and creative way. She has these hamsters she loves. And she has a lot of stories to tell in her work. It's really too bad she's not here because they're really pretty stories.
Can you go back, Bryce?
Yeah, sure. So we got, looks like,
So you know what? So it kind of looks like those are like a lakes and flowers and stuff, but from a distance, it kind of looks like it's two sheep. Is it two sheep?
these
I
are two
just
guinea
can't tell.
pigs.
What are
Guinea
those?
pigs.
Huh?
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pig.
Oh, guinea pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I see it.
Yeah.
That's cool. It looks like an above shot of like a lake with flowers or whatever.
Right.
And it kind of looked like guinea pigs, I guess, but that's what I was trying to point out. But
Yeah.
maybe I didn't see it at first, but yeah.
Little
Very cool.
noses.
I like it.
Little noses and eyes.
Yeah. And they're in love. Looks like they have flowers on their heads. So they're wearing little costumes.
Very cool.
I don't know. It's so imaginative, her works. But a lot of these things she's doing to cheer her up, and is so sweet. Yeah, such sweet characters, huh?
Pencil drawing.
Pencil drawings, yeah. Oh, there she is, just playing with her pen there. Nice bit of dimension in the cake. Little 3 dimensions there. Listening to perspective.
Oh yeah, it looks like the candles inside the cake.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would only say, have the top part be skinnier of a oval, then the bottom part be a bit wider of a circle.
Yeah.
It could be.
Oh, it looks like a hat.
Very Halloween-y.
Looks like a hat.
Oh man. We also know. So sweet. She's added a little flag up there or something, or bit of motion.
Looks like the Peanuts. I got a rock.
Yeah. This looks like a cat burrito sort of thing. It could be a cat burrito. She does that. She makes animals into all sorts of things. I think she's getting inspired by a lot of cartoons online, which is a good idea. Like if you find artists, especially like stylizing things in ways that you like, trying to copy them is a great way to get better, or see things differently. My only suggestion would be, like, if you're looking at an artist, don't try to copy their artwork. Copy what they're doing. So if you're looking at Salvador Dali's paintings, you could see what they're doing. So what is he doing as a process? If you look into it, he's holding onto a spoon until he drops it and falls asleep, and he wakes up and he paints. I would say try that. Don't try to just copy paste. I mean, there's plenty of things to learn from that, and I have done that. You can do both, really. I'm not going to say one or the other, but see what the artists are doing and how they're thinking, and try to copy that. That's much more helpful than copying them verbatim. You had a question?
Yeah. Can be paid with no reference picture.
100%. But yeah, that's just one method. I wouldn't say that's the only thing you should do. I think it's very helpful to have some sort of reference in general, whether that's from a memory, or if that's from what's in front of you, or if that's from the internet, or a book you're looking at.
Because sometimes we like to combine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like one from each.
Yeah.
So I mean, you really have a reference picture. Like we can get one thing from one thing from another, then we combine.
Right. Yeah, 100%. But you need to have those references to combine it. And a lot of the fundamentals that we're learning in this class can be used for that as well. So, you know, building on forms and stuff. We're going to do that a lot next semester. If you guys want to get better at building with forms and shapes and stuff like that, we'll be doing that. Oh, we got some color. Lots of cookies and milk. Sweet. There you go. She's getting out of her comfort zone, painting. Finally. There we go. Cool. Well,
Can you go back again?
yeah, sure. Which one? The milk and cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside the jar, is there like a shadow or something?
Yeah, it looks like ice. Looks like she's painting
There
with
you go.
maybe the white gouache on top of her watercolors.
Oh,
Yeah. Or maybe she's using crayons and stuff. Do you need some help with your spot? We have where are we looking to sit? We got a spot in the back there in the
Yeah, I think I can move it like so. Yeah.
it looks like. Bottom left, right? Looks like there's eyes on the bottom.
Oh, right here.
It's like it's, yeah, right there.
Oh, it's part of the cookie.
Yeah. No, but from here,
I can see the face. It looks like there's a little line. Maybe. All right. Well, thank you, Anna. Let's see.
who's that? That's somebody that watched Pleasure Class all night?
Yeah, these were emailed. Wait.
So you might be in this weird situation for some reason.
So here, Annie, what's your email? CHOE. That's your email?
Yes.
I don't have your images. Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Hey, Bryce,
yeah.
can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever taught like children or maybe like, I don't know,
People with
just like
disabilities.
children or like autistic maybe kids?
Yeah,
Like
I've taught
volunteer,
children.
Like I don't know, like volunteer work or something.
Yeah, I've taught children before. With in Orange, the city of Orange. It was an after-school program. Taught there for maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do the kids do?
They did great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was with yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's different email.
Oh, it's a different email? Okay. What's the email with?
I think it's anytow 266
Just let me know when it's sent.
It's
Or-
October 26th.
It was okay. October 22nd. Maybe I can only see it on the inbox thing.
Today, this is what I did at the park.
Um, it's nothing is showing up. Yeah, see, it's not showing anything. You can see it on the screen. There, so I don't have the paintings. This was on October 22nd. So, okay. I think the issue is that I think you need to send it directly to my email rather than through Canvas.
Oh,
Canvas doesn't work for some reason.
No, I'm just showing where you can do it.
Do you know my email? I can.
let me find it.
Okay.
Is it Bryce?
Dot.
I sent it with notification cameras.
Oh, yeah. Just send it through. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Bryce.
Bryce. Period. Geyer. At NOCE.edu.
NOCE.
I have it on the screen here if you need to see it.
EDU. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you send that directly through email, we shouldn't have any problems.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always had issues with Canvas
I did.
with photos. Huh?
I did later.
Okay, we'll do it later. That sounds good. We'll continue on then. All right. Sorry, everybody. Can everyone hear me online? Just, I don't know. We'll see if Aisha's around. We'll find out. All right. Okay, let's get to it. So, field trip, guys. I'd love to hear those who went. How was your time? Let's hear about it.
Some stuff from that.
Yeah. Do we have anything we want to share? Anybody? I'd love to hear about your experiences. You know, for those who didn't go, there's like a good chunk of people who didn't go. So, what did they miss out on?
It was a nice day at the park.
Nice day at the park. Yeah,
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, you brought chalk, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. You got some people walking by. Anyone say
Yeah, I got
anything?
some compliments. I wasn't really happy with
The
the
bear.
way it turned out.
Uh,
I had pastel colors,
huh.
and I really needed like dark, like primary colors.
Uh huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning. I mean, it was a learning experience. This was what I wanted, right?
Yeah. 100%.
I saw some of the work that was there. Some people had some really
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
paintings and drawings. A lot of talented people.
Well, is a learning experience. I mean, I think painting outdoors is not an easy thing. It's a challenge, but it's also a really nice way to feel connected to what you're painting to the fullest extent. Did anyone else feel that way? Yeah. Yeah. What do you have to say?
I enjoyed it. I've never painted outside.
Yeah.
Because I was a little nervous about it, but
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed it, so I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
What did you do?
I don't have it with me.
Aw,
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hard
But but I painted a tree and then I painted what did I do? Yeah. And I painted some more trees.
I have
We went to the
mine.
park, show what?
Yeah,
show what you
yeah.
had.
I have
Is
mine.
that your stuff from the
There you go.
park? I just got stuff.
There you go. And it goes all the way through.
Okay. Anyone else?
I got mine.
I can just grab it.
Is that canvas? Canvas? There's so much.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Can I see what you did? Sketches? Yeah, at the
Don't
park.
be shy, people.
Yeah, to leave it. This is at the park?
Yeah.
Oh, you walked over. This was in person? Okay. Anything from you guys? No?
No.
Uh,
She told me.
Oh, this is lovely. Okay.
This is Annie.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of I like to see the process here.
This is not exactly from the park, but
You were inspired and you took. That's cool. I like that. All right. Anybody else? You guys? All right. I'm sure. Okay. Did anyone? Who else went? And then had to leave early. I think. It's everyone. Okay. All right. So we got some artwork. I'm gonna do this one because I'm worried about the phone turning off. Here we go. Oh, that's so sweet. I love this. So this is from, what's your name? Yeah. Carol. Okay, Carol. This is from Carol. And then who is this? This is Zhang Mei. Zhang Mei? I'm saying it bad. Sorry. Yeah, you got your little friend in there. This is great. I love this so much. This is sweet. You got that bright and brilliant blue of the water. The water is very blue. And that water spouting, you got those values right. Got some sweet, there was a ton of ducks, tons of animals. It was almost being like at a zoo.
Those geese.
Yeah, geese, yes. Yeah. There was Canadian geese. There was some other strange ones. Are you?
See a fountain there.
Huh?
There was no fountain there, was there?
It's on the other side.
Oh, really?
They walked really far.
There's the fountain the week
I had no
before.
idea.
Yeah, yeah, but where we met up, you had to walk all the way across and around to get there. So you went on a trek. But yeah, this is sweet. I love the story you're telling. You're telling story here, and that's really strong. That's really powerful. So wonderful. And we got some more geese. I mean, since we're on the subject, so that was Carol. And so the person in the picture was painting this. This is what she was painting or drawing. Ah, fun. So you brought colored pencils? Okay. I'm glad you're bringing color. Ooh, and you got some purple. You have purple in the trees? Okay, you got green with the purple. Okay, that makes a good neutral kind of color there. For the shadows I'm taking. Cool. And you got all the little birds in there. Nice. And they were floating in the water too. This is wonderful. Cool. Lovely. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. I mean, And we got some more geese here. So good. This fits so nicely in the widescreen. Oh yeah. You were really having fun. I mean, it's very creative. I mean, you wanted to do something different with the trees. There's no trees like this when we were there. Or maybe there was. They were a little orange.
So, the
Oh,
tone is.
sorry,
Oh,
that's
this one,
mine.
this one.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Said I like drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so we had 2 hours, and we were done after, what is it, 3:30? So that was basically it. It's not too much, if you're wanting to come to the next one, the signups will be next week. I'm gonna call the I'm gonna call and visit the Cypress. I think it's Cypress. Or no, it's Cerritos. I'm never gonna get right. Never. Cerritos Public Library. So that's the next one I want to go to. We can paint the big dinosaur there and stuff. So
Really like the shadow under that.
yeah,
under
yeah,
that bird.
this is great. Paying attention to all those sorts of things. It's in motion. Got the leg up in the air. I love the shine in the sky here. The glow. You made it darker over here and lighter over here.
Who drew those?
This is Chalamet. Shama?
Shalimar.
Shalima. Okay. I should just not even try. Yeah. Well, and you've gone outside before. You've painted plein air, so it's a beautiful spot. All right. We got some more geese. This is from Denise. Hope I'm saying that right. Yeah. Here we are. Yes, they were everywhere and they were models. They loved the attention. They loved the attention. So, but I mean, I love seeing like the variation of them, some of them off to the side, some of them looking at you.
Who did those?
These are Denise's. Yeah. Cool. We got some of the benches over there. Yeah. A lot of very bright colors. Yeah. Alrighty. Cool. Now, one thing about bright colors, you need to pay attention to the shadows as well. I mean, it's true that trees might have some of these really bright greens and the grasses might have some really bright yellows, but there's also deep, dark, and sometimes dull colors that I think are so essential to creating that you need to have that kind of variation and contrast in order to let those shine even more. So where are those shadows and how far can you push those shadows? Even though it's a white tree, if it's in shadow, it's not going to be that white. That's like a neon light. So I see some shadows over here. This is good. But there's also needs to be some shadows in the leaves. So you can get shadows through darker colors. It doesn't even need to be dark green. It could be blues. It could be, usually I want to think about where is that reflecting light coming from? If the sun is setting, the sky's going to be purple and orange. Maybe those shadows will be a bit warmer. But when the sky is all bright blue, shadows will be bluer. Light reflects, so yeah. This is a good shadow here. This is good, Denise. This is better shadows there than there. You can't see the difference there. Where you're missing shadow and where you have shadow. Yeah, maybe even push it even more. You'd be surprised how dark you can get these shadows. So here we can look at, we have Annie's. She got some really deep shadows in there. And also got those really deep shadows in in underneath the trees. Oh, this is cool how you did the streets there in there.
Nice dark reflections of the water, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you can see how dark, like how big of a difference the shadows are to what the light is doing. You know. You know, she has that same kind of green that other people have. It's just when it's contrasted with that darker, it feels like it's even more powerful. So to be more fearless, we get some shadows in there and really pay attention to how dark things can actually get. Because not the whole tree is that bright green. This is a good way to get started. This is how you started this one.
Whose is
Yeah.
that?
That one is gonna be a different picture, but I started like that.
Hey, can I ask you, what kind of brush do you use?
Or different kind of. I
Oh.
use a big one like this one for ground. I mean in the first background. Yeah. And then use just like this size.
Yeah.
Are they also like flat brush, they're not
This is
round
this
brushes?
is round brush. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I work similarly. I usually only use two brushes, like the really large one and then the really small one. I don't really do middle brushes, but I bet if you work larger, you would start using those. Take notes, I guess.
The more the more brushes you need.
No, it's just fun. It's just fun, but it's not necessary. I love the background color. I think next semester I'll probably have people get maybe neutral toned, like gray, but wonderful. Okay, we got one more, guys.
Like I said, starting.
Wait, did you make this yourself?
Yeah.
You made a sketchbook too. Cool. Well, respect. All right, so you had to leave the park pretty early, so
Yeah, I kind of was doing quick little scenes, like as they were going before me.
so fun. So how long would you take on each of these paintings?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I would just like kind of, because they'd be moving in front of me.
Mhm.
And I would kind of pay it in until they left, but they were moving pretty fast.
Mhm. So these are very gestural. Oh, you got some flying there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them would fly in, and it's just really pretty.
That one's kind of my favorite. I like the way the trees kind
Yeah,
of.
and you're really focusing on the shadows of the trees too, so you see the blues in there and stuff. It's good. Yeah, if you just had two colors to play around with, I mean that's better than having 1,000 colors. It's good to simplify your color palette because you can do a lot with very little. And you learn more that way.
I got lucky that landed in front of me.
Are you serious? That's awesome. Somebody else had a spider next to their table.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was bright green, and I don't think it was a beetle though. And it landed on a leaf,
Uh-huh.
so it was kind of playing with the leaf a little bit, and
That's so fun. I love when that happens. Put it in. That's such a great idea. You guys should have done the spider. I've done a spider on mine before. So bugs are models too. All right, cool. And you got some more space here to do more.
I think I had some loose ones. Are they in there? Or-
Nice. I think that was the only one. That was just the loose one. Maybe there's one in the back. No, that was it. Yeah, nice little thing. You just cut the paper, glued it together, pinched it together, let it sit overnight or something.
Yeah.
Awesome. I did the same thing. Very handy. Cool. Love it. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for sharing. Okay. I'll pass this back to you guys. All right. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Oh.
Okay. Alrighty. So today, I wanted to talk about chroma, because it's been so gloomy lately. Things have not had a lot of chroma. So I kind of want to talk about what that looks like, and we've talked about. I got this book, and I think it's going to help me explain things better. So let's do that. Get some more space here. Cool. There we go. There we go. So I want to talk about this color wheel. Now, we all have those simplified color wheels where it looks something like this sort of thing, right? We've all seen this color wheel before. So this color wheel here is very flat. So the thing with the color and choosing color is there's different dimensions, and not everything follows this exact colors. I mean, you can paint completely with these colors, but this is what you would consider pure hues, like the purest hues, purest chroma. Now, there's this thing called the Munsell color theory, and basically it takes it to 3D. So it describes it like a tree. I love this. So at the main stump of the tree, at the main root of the tree is value. And that's the number one thing. That's why I always teach value, value, value. That's how dark something is or how light something is. Right? We all understand what value is. Any questions about that? Okay. Next, we have the branches coming out from the values. So coming out from there, the further out you go, the stronger the chroma. And a chroma is basically how saturated it is. So if we were completely colorblind, everything here would just look like one tone of gray. You wouldn't see the orange because colors all have value. Like if you looked at this pure purple, compare it to that yellow, you would say this pure purple has a darker value than this yellow, right? Because it's darker. But they're the purest chromas. Now, if we were colorblind, we would just see like a light gray, and we'd see a nearly black. So as we go further away from that value, it's all going to stay the same value all the way through. Now, if you painted a whole painting with completely different hues, that's what a hue is whatever direction that branch is going off from. Hues.
Hues are of the same color, aren't they?
Yeah, so hues are basically what, and this is describing what a color is. So, if a color is like grayish or the color can mean a lot of things. So hues, more specifically, what direction that branch is going in. So, how was I going to say this? So yeah, so this is what we're talking about when we're talking about chroma, because when it has chroma is also known as saturation. If you're looking at a black and white photo, that has zero chroma, zero saturation. If it's a very bright and vivid photo, with full color, you're thinking it's got full chroma. So you can kind of use this knowledge to mix your colors. So if let's say you're looking at these walls in this room. Now they might look white to you, but let's say in that corner over there, or maybe the fluorescent lights, they do have a bit of a color in them. Maybe they're a little yellow, or maybe they're a little blue, but they're never purely white. Very rarely. I mean, you can, so you can, but it's gonna have nearly no chroma. It's not a bright blue. It's just very, very subtle. So it has very little chroma. It's very desaturated, but it's not fully black and white. That makes sense, guys? So let me show you kind of this expanded. This is what it looks like. It looks like a tree in a way, like a really weird, funky tree. So you can see here, when it's split over, everything on the furthest outside, those all have the purest chromas. That's the basic color tree that we think of. Remember, like the color wheel? When we look at that color wheel, everything's got the purest chroma. But if we're in a very cloudy environment, maybe the clouds have doomed everything, where everything's not as bright, or maybe things are really far away, or maybe there's smog in the air, colors aren't as strong. So you might need to dumb them down, mixing in a bit of those pure values. And you can kind of tell how dark or light each of these colors are. So it could be anything in there. So let's look at how people mix colors here. Cool, I love this. So here's our values. And if we're looking for a certain color that's kind of hard to see, it's like kind of blurry, it's kind of in between colors, you can kind of mix what that value is, that gray, in with what value that color is, and kind of find that specific color. This is your final hue. You can see what I mean? No? I need that. Thank you. All right. So
White to decrease the saturation of the color.
yes. Yes. So when you mix white with a color, or if you mix black, or something with zero chroma, that's gonna dumb down that chroma. Yeah?
Use a complementary, can you also develop that way?
Yes. And that's what I've been teaching, but we're gonna try something new today. Yeah. So in a way, when you dumb it down, so let's just say you're taking orange and you have that same value. This is the same value. If we were colorblind, this would be the same value. We slowly mixed in more and more gray. It would slowly make it cooler too. If this was a cool color, it would slowly make it warmer. That's because it's the same as mixing those complementaries. And complementaries, as we know, are opposites. And opposites, warm and cool. One is warmer, one is cooler. So you're slowly getting to that opposite side. So if you had this really bright, powerful orange, which we all know is a warm color, we mix in that no value color, it's going to get cooler, as well as dumbing it down, dulling it down.
So the complementaries, one's cool, one's warm.
Yeah.
I never realized.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. 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 So it always kind of leans in one way or another. And that they'll feel different to, how you use it.
Is that why they always kind of make a brownish color?
Yeah,
So
because those brownish colors are have less chroma.
so you said if you want less common, you can do
It's actually a
white or black or complement and you would get less common.
Right, and you want to pay attention to the value of the thing that you're painting too. So if something is middle tone grayish blue, like the sky outside today, then you're going to be getting that blue, maybe that cyan, and then you're going to get that gray and mix it in until you start seeing, and that gray is going to have the same value that you see outside. You can kind of mix that in. Should we try it out? Let's do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up an image of a color, and we're going to try to mix it onto a little swatch. Okay? And then I'm going to bring it up to the screen, and okay, perfect. And we're going to try to get that color. Okay?
All of us are gonna try it, or just you?
We're all going to try. We're all going to try.
So what colors are we gonna start with? Blue?
So you can kind of decide where you start, but you're going to think about the value, how dark or light something is, try to get that. And then you're going to get the color that you think it's closest to. And then you're going to try to get that specific color. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Yeah. No. You're gonna have your paint out. You can have like a scrap piece of paper or maybe some sketch that you don't really care about. You can have your little swatch be right next to it. All right. So I'm gonna kind of draw a little circle. Okay, and we're gonna do something right over here. All right. So try to find that value. Guess what color it's gonna be at, and check your work. You can kind of
Should we just draw that?
no. All we're doing is trying to find the color.
We can't use brown?
Try to use your primary colors. You'll learn more that way. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna try to share it. What happened to, where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna share it to online so they can all see it. Okay. Share. Okay. All right. So we're gonna try to find this square of color.
There's a few different colors in there.
Right. So try to generalize it to one. And just paint a little swatch. And a good way to see how to do it. Or do you guys want me to do one and then? All right, I'll do that first. We can do that. All right, so I got my paints here. Here we go. So to me, that looks pretty green. Oh, careful. Every time I touch my computer, issues. Of course, remember to spritz your paint, especially if you got watercolor.
What kind of brush you use? Little, big, medium?
It don't matter. However big your square is going to be. I think I'm going to do it. I said a little scrap paper. I'll just paint it in this little square over here. So first thing I want to do, get my brush here. And I got two things I need to worry about. I got one, which is going to be the color. So I know it's going to be somewhere around the green. So I can get that green, put it in my little green pile over here. And maybe I think it's got a bit of blue in there. So I can get a bit of that kind of blue in there. All right, so that's I feel like that's about right for where that hue is going to go. Now I need to worry about how dark it's going to be. So maybe in a separate pile, I'll try to get that value with gray. So I just use white and black. Start with a lot of white. I have a little gray area here, which is always helpful to have. So I got my white here, and let's go ahead, get a separate little pile over here for black. Slowly add in more white. So I feel like that might be the color I'm looking for here. I feel like that's, maybe it could be darker. Okay. I like how dark that is. I feel like that's the similar value. Then I slowly mix in that gray to that hue that I know that it's at. And I feel like it's about good. Maybe it needs to be a bit darker. And I can double check my work. Maybe I think it needs to have more blue in it. Of course, my screen might be a little different from your screen. All right, I think that's about good. And I'm just gonna put it on the corner of my paper here. And I can hold this up to the screen. And I feel like that's pretty dang close. Maybe it could use a bit more blue. But it's just like throwing a dart at a board. If you kind of throw it a little low, aim a little higher. You have a little too much gray, add a little more color. If it's too warm, make it a little cooler. Just like throwing a dartboard. So that's a good shadow color for this tree. And I could paint the whole shadowy area of the tree with this one color. I mean, I know that there's more colors in that tree, But just to make my life easy, and people like simple, and that's an artist's job, right? Simplify.
So what I did was
Uh-huh.
chromium oxide and black.
There you go.
You don't even
All right,
need-
so what do you think? How you guys doing on the color?
You have to use the black and white to make the gray. No, right?
No. I barely do it, but if you're looking at a scene where you're wanting it to be where you're not seeing much chroma, then it's good to use that black and that white.
Dark with gray, mine is not green, has a little green to it. Is that better like that for yours?
See, I think it could probably be dulled down a little more even. But I mean, again, how you paint this tree doesn't matter so much. It's more about what that value is and really paying attention to the value. So I think you could get, ooh. Yeah, you're good. Oh, you're good.
Yeah, then my
Here.
notes to work.
We'll put this over here. Oh, look, we lost connection. Okay, we're good. You're good. Just keep it there. Yeah, over here. That's fine. Right here. Yeah. So for watercolor, good way to get it darker. I mean, are you using black as well? Yeah. More. I mean, watercolor, you might have to use more than one layer. It's difficult. I mean, you're kind of seeing it a little different from the color. Yeah.
It's
So.
not really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could have a bit stronger hue, but yeah, that looks good.
I just did like a paint spray. I got white in there, I have like a black, and then I have like a grayish, and I added more black too.
Yeah. And all right, so I'm gonna do one more shape here. So now we're gonna do this color here. Let's do this color, yeah.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit for us, like make it big?
I'm gonna keep it kind of.
But that's not one color, that's like 4 or 5 colors.
You're gonna have to generalize. So choose one. Yeah, you can squint. All right, so I see some lemon yellow. And also some green. Yeah, and so squinting is a good idea. So if you're squinting, then you can kind of see that all those colors will jumble up into one kind of color there, which to me is very similar to what I just had, maybe a little bit. But since this is in light, this is going to have a lot more chroma. Because you only see full chroma when it's in full light. Most of that tree, as you can see, it's mostly grayed down. It's mostly kind of dulled down. Only on the rim in this picture is the light part. So once I kind of have that down, I can kind of test it out, put it on the side of a paper, scrap piece of paper. Maybe I need to make it a little bit darker. So I can even get some of that same color. Because these have a relationship with each other. These are the same bush, so I might even take some of the same color that I had before, kind of mix it in. See how that looks. It's a bit darker now. See how that looks. All right, I think I'm happy there. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint on the outside here. And
So we're painting a tree too?
yeah, I'm doing it. But this is kind of like how you would use the colors here. And I can kind of bring some of that brightness in there on the outside there, and this is kind of how you would use those colors. See, I'm painting just big blocks here. I'm not worried too much about all the little flowers. I can do the little flowers later if I really wanted to. But just see, I don't even have to paint all the dots, 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 and the dashes, dashes, dashes. And maybe I can bring some more of that light color in there, or you can lift it off by getting it wet, drying that brush, and then sucking that paint off. You can kind of reveal some of that lightness in there. There we go. Yeah. And then when I look at that blue sky, let's do that one next. I'll do this up here. And I'm also going to do this one down here. So I'm going to get some of that blue, put that in my little pile there. I'm looking at the one on the top there. And I think it needs to be a bit warmer of a blue, so maybe I'll add a bit of that deeper blue. It's a pretty high and bright hue. Like that chroma is really strong, right? This is like 100% chroma. Like I don't think I need much of any of white or black. So that's just a pure blue. I can test that out if I wanted to. Holding it up, look at it. Oh boy, that is really too dark. So now I'm gonna add some white to it.
You water it down?
Yeah, or you can water it down if you're using watercolors.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's see how that looks. Now I lost some chroma. If you add white to it. Okay, let's see. It's probably the sweet spot. There it is. There. Kind of got the sweet spot there. Just like playing darts. Throw it hard. Oh, hit it too hard. Throw it softer. Should be good. When I add some water to it, that's gonna get it down to that light color. For those big areas, you got to mix enough color. I'm not mixing enough color. So.
Are we actually drawing the tree right now?
I mean, no. You can. I know, I haven't really specified. But maybe this next one we will. This next one we will. All right. All right. You guys ready for painting of the day? All right, let's do it. So the theme today is the beach. Oops. Where are we at? There we are. I have some images you can choose from. Right. I think this would be some cool. Let's start with this. can take a picture of this. Mhm. Okay, cool. All right, good. Now it's working.
So.
Oh,
you have to
connection.
draw the human or no, just forget that,
What was that?
the guy, or draw it into.
We need to paint a girl surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, ideally, it doesn't need to be perfect. But we can find the value, and these are very neutral blues. You know, this isn't like a bright, powerful blue. So really pay attention to the chroma here, guys. Really pay attention to the chroma. So I'm gonna start things off here. So with a pencil sketch. Now, my page is about the same dimensions as this picture. But if I was going to do it wide, I'm going to need to sketch it out for a wide sketchbook. Or if you have a square page, you're going to have to design it differently for a square page.
You're gonna have to wait paper, right?
Yeah, so I would say have that sketchbook out and draw it down. So let's just say your page looked more like this. Drop that down. No. The aspect, the dimensions. We talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, where
Oh, yeah.
you can move things around, remember? So if I had a square, maybe I'll have the little person, which I'm just going to generalize into one simple shape. What shape do we see if we simplified her body into one shape? I agree. It's very triangular. Look at the arch of her back and her foot. That whole shape there, it's very triangular. So maybe I'll just simplify her body to a triangle, try to match those angles there. I can draw more to it later. Maybe that's her head right there. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. If I did right down the middle, that's going to look one certain way. And I can kind of change the arch here. And if I just kind of blur my eyes a bit, I can see that the value over here. I'm going to hold this down a little bit closer. There's this like arch of blowing water, and then there's like an opening over here. But I mean, this whole area over here, that's all going to be one value, one color. And all of that is just kind of be one value as well. Maybe it's going to be a bit brighter over here. So maybe that's one way to do it. You know, if you had a square, you have to think about your aspect ratio. So maybe I put her maybe over here, and I can make her even smaller. You know, you can change things about your image. You can over dramatize. Maybe you make her wave twice the size of her. We're artists. We can do that. It's awesome. See, I just kind of cut it off, but I can change it up. See, I make sure that the boxes don't touch because I can change the box's size. Now, if you're working wide, maybe your page looks like this and you want it to be wide. You can kind of get close to maybe what her expression looks like. You get her head in there and maybe her head's a bit smaller. There's her arm, back, legs, waves crashing in over here. You know, you can have some fun here. So maybe that would be good for a wide picture. I'm gonna do a long one, just to kind of, and I like showing off that big wave crashing down, maybe even over here. I'm gonna make her maybe I'll have her down here. Cool. I like this one. Where like half of her body might be in the wave. I can kind of make that wave happen. So come up with your composition. You can have fun. You really should. I don't want to see you guys just copying the composition here. I want to see you guys do something with it. Think you can do that today? Just try that out. We could still copy the values. We could still copy the colors. But what we don't have to copy is how big that wave looks. How small is that figure? You know, the angles, the shapes that we see. It's good to exaggerate. Really good. All right. So once I have it down, I can always split it up into like thirds. I can draw those lines on there. I can kind of put down those lines here really lightly here, so I just kind of understand what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for. And maybe I'll even make more changes as I go. So kind of have it go up over here, peak, come down. Basically, this is one big cylinder.
You can't really see it on the pencil.
Okay. There we go. So that's the top part of the wave. Now, waves have dimension. They're not just skinny little pieces of paper. So I'm going to make it thicker here. So this is like the wide part of the wave. Got this big, heavy mass of water churning over. And I'm going to look at my picture here. And it kind of goes down over. Maybe smashing over here. Maybe I'll put the surfer over here. Get that triangle in. I'm going to get an even more dramatic shape here, even more angle. And when I draw her, I'm going to simplify it into just simple shapes. And then when I paint it in, so there's her head. Think about her torso. You're going to draw all the way through. Nice little bean shape for her chest. Another bean shape for her hips. And I like to draw through things. So I always draw the feet here. Keep everything in my little triangle. Break things down into pieces. Got her upper leg, lower leg, and then the feet kind of jut out and down. And then I'm going to draw the hands on top of it. I can just erase it away later on. See, it's a whole lot easier to draw that whole leg and then erase it away later than it is to draw around that leg with that arm in the way. We're learning so much today. So here we go. Upper arm. Lower arm here. And don't even worry about the fingers, just put a circle. If this is too much for you, don't worry about the person. But give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. It doesn't need to be perfect. If you have some funky looking person that doesn't look right, it looks better to have the funky looking person than no person at all. I think so. I know so. So don't be afraid. Take that challenge. And don't draw her face, just draw dots. Dots for her eyes, dots for her nose, and a line for her mouth. Don't worry about a nose, just do dots. Dots and dashes make your life easy for a face, especially if it's so small. Because most of this image is going to be the waves crashing. And a little arm goes out here. Okay, cool. And she's touching the wave there. And this wave kind of goes over and then under. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I draw in the shapes that aren't going to be painted. So like this splash shape, kind of look at this shape. It looks like a big fan almost. And these shapes here, if you don't have gouache, keep them really light. Here's my sprites. Sorry. 31. Okay. So I'm gonna get my page wet here. Get my page wet. So I'm gonna work wet on wet just to start things off. Good. So my page is gonna be a little wet, but no puddles. All right. And I'm going to start with the dark blue area. So when we look at this dark blue area, look for those colors. I see some green and some blue. All right. And then I'm going to bring in the grays. Well, I think I'm going to do the sky first. So it's a very dull sky. I get lots of white. We're just going to go ahead and paint that sky there right around. And I can see that there's going to be some mist right above the water there. So I'm going to get a nice clean brush while it's still wet and suck some of that up. Brush right on top of it. You can see there's that little wash of mist. Then I'm going to bring in some more of that color here. I'm feeling like some of this deeper blue. Just real wash it down. And I'm just going to kind of avoid those areas where that water is going to be really turbulent and white, making that water above it darker. These are still pretty pure colors because this is out in the water there. Use that dry brush. See, it's getting things. So I can kind of use bits of that dry texture of the paper there to kind of get that water spritz kind of texture. So I think that's like the purest colors of hue, because once we get in the shadows, like over here, that's where things are going to get really dull. You're not really going to see much color. So I'm going to get that blue, that turquoise, maybe even a bit of green. I see some blue-green here in my palette. That might be good to kind of get in there. Ultramarine blue and blue-green. There we go. Or that deep blue-green. All right. Then I'm going to find that value like we did earlier with the grays. Get some of that gray and bring that in. And look at that. We're getting that dulled down color just right. Oh yeah. And that's just like the general color here. That's just kind of general. Maybe I'll even go a bit darker. Get a little bit more black here. Just a hair. There we go. I like that. All right. I'm going to watch those lines there. And this is all going to be this darker area here. I'm just going to focus on this. And noticing those lines there where they're kind of breaking off. Kind of breaking that off and then going down, following that water down. I see this white area here. Not going to paint it because I drew it. I took a note earlier on. I'm not going to paint that. That's going to be where that water is going to be spritzing and spraying. And heck, maybe I'll even get this to be watered down a little bit so it's a little weaker over here. So that way it feels like it's that mist, just like we saw in the sky, is going to be happening here too. So I can kind of suck up that water with a cleaner brush. See, I'm just using that big brush right now. You don't need small brushes. Just soak it up. Check that out. It looks like mist now. See, there's a lot of spritz and spray in there, so it's going to get really light. All in here. It's all going to be spritz and spraying, but it's not going to be really pure white over here. I can kind of capture some of that shadow in here. This is definitely going to be kind of spritz and spraying. If you feel like you took too much out, just soak it up in your brush. You can go back over this later on. We're going to get this darker anyways. And you can kind of hone in some of those areas there. So, all right, here we go. Some more here. With watercolors, it's almost necessary to go in with multiple layers. You never want to do a painting with just one layer. If you ever feel like your painting with watercolors just doesn't feel right, it probably means you need a second layer of either shadow or just shadow. Extra shadow. Extra putting in more value in there. Get that kind of oceany blue in there.
You're using gouache, is that right?
I am using gouache. Yeah. Thought I had my watercolors today, but I think it's with my stuff from the trip. So there's that ultra vibrant blue. Let's get some of those grays in there. Just to dull it down a bit, like it's on a cloudy day. Maybe a little more treacherous waters. Get a little more black in there. There we go. And more water is going to also dilute it, which means that water's going to feel lighter, which as we get down lower, you'll see that water change. There's going to be some shadow next to the lady because she's going to be casting shadows. And I'm avoiding that surfboard because it's very bright white. And this is all still wet, so I'm working with it. If If I was working with a smaller brush, what's going to happen is this is going to dry really quickly, and those colors, they're not really going to meld so well. So you might see this big, huge patch of brush strokes that you're like, I don't want that to be shown. I want it to feel more fluid. Got to work while it's still wet. So I'm adding that water in there. See, it's too bright. I'm going to add some more gray. All right, this area is much lighter, so I am going to add that white intentionally. It's good to be expressive and quick on your first go with your brush. Kind of hone things in later on, but I'm going to get that clean brush now. I'm going to soak that up. Wipe it down with some paper towel. Soak it up again. And kind of pull it out some more. There's also going to be some light coming through the top part of your wave as well. That light's kind of be coming through the top because it's translucent. So I'm going to take out some of that paint through the top there too. And see this again? I can also get another layer of paint around there. There's gonna be a bit of a shadow over here. Maybe I'll get some like light gray over here. Water it down a bit. And she's covered in that color too because of that reflected light. Remember that? I can push this back a bit more. So I can get some of that blue in there. Even in her face. I'm gonna get some of that blue in there. She's just completely covered in this blue because she's surrounded by it. Think about that reflective light. She's gonna be surrounded in this area. So I'm just gonna cover it and just cover all completely in blue, including her surfboard. She now should be more in shadow than the photo. But maybe I'll leave the top part of the surfboard to be more white because that's kind of coming out of the wave. So I'll soak that up. And this is where squinting your eyes is helpful. So I think maybe I'll make this a bit, I don't know. Whew. Can still wipe some more of that paint off. You gotta be careful with the paper though. If you're not using expensive paper, you might have to wait longer between stages and steps. So I'm gonna get these upper parts here. Okay, cool. It's all dry. So I'm gonna kind of add some little shadows behind them. Look for some shapes that you see. When I'm squinting my eyes, I'm seeing some of these kind of like triangular water splatters kind of curving over and twisting in this area over here. And I can also get more shadows. Behind where the girl is, maybe where that girl's belly is, her hand, even her face. Whole side of her face is going to be in shadow. Still not too worried about her skin color. But I like to use the side of the brush to get that texture. If you have cold pressed watercolor paper, that's what this does. You can try to get this texture with hot press. It's just not easy. It's not possible, but it's not easy. Really light, barely any paint. All right. So now I'm gonna do her face. So again, think about those mixtures of grays and where that face might land on gray. So I think she's got good amount of brown, maybe yellow ochre. So I got a bit of brown and yellow ochre here. And that looks about right. Maybe a bit more red. But of course it looks way too dramatic, right? So we're gonna gray it down. Try to find that same kind of value of gray. It's similar to what we've been working with. So I'm just gonna mix that in. Mix that in. And I think that looks good, maybe even more. Maybe a bit of white. There we go. I think that's good. Cool. I'm just gonna paint her face that.
Mine like it
Maybe
dancing
maybe there's a bit more.
in the way.
Huh?
Mine is like she's dancing.
All right. Love it. I love it.
I just couldn't do it.
It's okay. Next semester, I'm going to really focus on creating form. So doing stuff like this will be much easier. Maybe I'll take some of this out so there's a bit more shine on there. I'm just going to kind of paint her head like a bean. That's fine. All right, now her body. I'm going to paint right on top of that blue body. And you can see how that kind of works with each other. Those legs are very dark. Okay. My computer's gonna die soon. So of course, I think I might add a bit more color to her shirt. Since I have that blue in there already, I can work pretty transparently right on top. So there's like a little yellow stripe in there or something. Maybe a little yellow design. I don't know. You can kind of lie about it and make it up. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my phone. Ay, ay, ay. So really the only place where that pure chroma will be happening is gonna be where the sun is shining. Everything else will be in shadow, so it's not going to be as vibrant everywhere. But because you kind of hold back a bit, those parts where it is that pure chroma, highly saturated areas, those are going to really pop and it's going to really pay off in your painting. Maybe I'll add more shadows where the eyes are with a darker hue, but similar color. Or darker chroma. Saturate. There we go. And maybe hair bun or something. And of course, like I said, keep pushing those shadows. This whole area over here probably could be much darker. I could go over it with ultramarine or maybe even some warmer colors, you know, like we were talking about with complementaries. That's what we've been working with. But this is a new way of trying things out. And you can work on some parts that might be a little lighter too, but really then you can kind of just push those shadows, push those details like in here. I could probably push those shadows even more. So that way this comes out more and this gets pushed back. It's that difference of value.